Hey guys, it's me Rena from Snellworks Crochet, and in today's video I'm going to be making a granny square vest. You know, I've been crocheting for a little bit. I've made a couple of garments here and there, but I haven't really made, or more so, I haven't really finished a granny square piece ever, mainly because granny squares take long, and also a lot of the pieces I see for granny squares are not really my thing. I find a lot of granny square pieces to be very loud and they don't really match with my vibe. But I do want to make a granny square piece. I just haven't yet. But I had a vision in my mind of a vest I wanted to make, and so I'm gonna do it. I'm actually planning on using the granny square all-in-one yarn to make this, and instead of doing the standard granny square, I actually want to do a mitred granny square with the granny square all-in-one yarn. I saw that they came out with some new colors, and when I saw those, I was like, oh, I think that would look really good in on a vest, just arranged differently. So I'm going to be doing that. So this will be just me documenting how I go ahead making this vest. Also, another twist I want to add, I'm giving myself a month time limit to do this. The vision I have for this vest is that it's going to be a piece that will also look good and is appropriate for a professional setting. I will be going to Chicago in about a month for work, and I will be presenting a project I'm working on. And I want to kind of implement crochet into the outfit I wear that day. It's kind of funny because I don't normally wear vests. When I was younger, I always hated wearing them. But I watched a video recently about layering and how to layer, and in the video I watched had something about how vests are the perfect layering piece because then you can kind of extend your wardrobe a little bit. And when I thought of it like that, I kind of wanted to wear more vests or implement more vests into my wardrobe. But I don't want to buy a vest, I want to make it myself. So I have sketched out here the vision I have for this vest. I was gonna have about 6 mitred granny squares of the different types of colors, all in using the granny square all-in-one yarn and using the mitred granny square pattern. And then this would be black, and then there'd be some ribbing here, here, and here. And then this part would be more solid versus the entire vest being a granny square, because I like the aesthetic of the granny squares on some parts of the clothes, but when it's just granny squares, it's too loud in my opinion. And I also think kind of having the mixture of like some granny squares, but also paired with a neutral color like black, it will kind of make it look a little bit more professional. And the goal of this is to have a professional looking vest that I can wear for a presentation at work. Okay, so about the granny square yarn, I have this purple, this green, and these 2 granny squares I've already made. I have this like red, pink, and this blue color. I think all 4 of these colors together will look absolutely awesome. Especially with this granny square design, I think it'll look really cool. And so I did my measurements, and so each of these granny squares is about 6 by 6 inches. And I did my basic measurements, and for it to fit me, I basically need 3 granny squares across. And the initial design I had in my mind has 2 rows of granny squares in total for front and back. So I'll basically need 12 granny squares, and with 12 granny squares, 4 colors, I basically need 3 of each color. With that in mind, I'm planning on joining these granny squares with the join as you go method. I've never done the join as you go method, so wish me luck on that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I really hope it turns out well and doesn't look super ugly or kitschy, because I think it has potential. Mainly because the color motif reminds me of a sweater I actually currently own right now. Like, the vision I have is definitely something I think I would wear more regularly.
Here I am sharing a sped up version of me crocheting the bittered granny square. As it is not my original pattern, I chose to cut this video into me mainly undoing stitches for it to fit with the color changes. I used a 6.5mm hook for this, which is my standard hook for when I work with this yarn. I made a couple adjustments to the original pattern by starting with a magic ring and doing stacked single crochets for some areas. Overall, it's a pretty easy and self-explanatory pattern. If you know how to do a mitred granny square, you can do it with this yarn. The total time it took for me to do this was about 24 minutes.
Okay, so update on my vest. I did the join as you go method for connecting all these granny squares together, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I am so mad at this mistake right here because it's in the opposite direction of what I want, so I have to redo it. And it took me a while to figure out how to do the join as you go method, and so I'm just going to ignore this for a little bit, make that not my problem. But I did start crocheting rows with black yarn here. I'm going to kind of guess how many rows I need for this panel. I'm actually planning on having this one be the back panel. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing double crochets on here until it looks big enough, and then I can do math. I'm so mad about that one granny square over there. But making these granny squares, especially using the all-in-one yarn, is so easy. I honestly want to do more. I really hope this turns out cute, because if it doesn't, I'll be very sad. But yeah, it's only been a couple days, so it shouldn't be too bad. But this black yarn I'm using is very tangly. I started a new skein of the Lion Brand 1 pound of love, and that skew doesn't believe in an easy center pull, so I just have black yarn everywhere right now. But yeah, I'll just keep working on this, and I'll check in later.
The real question for my vest is, would I actually be able to use up this entire skein of the Pound of Love? I don't think so, but you never know. I have my finished back panel, and I have it lined up next to a sweater that I like, and it is so cute. I'm really excited.
I've lost, and I had a great idea. How about we just have a day together on the town, a vlogging day, a Kayla plus you day, okay?
Yo, this fits me perfectly. I'm so excited. Changed my shirt and seamed everything together. And flipped it inside out. It's looking pretty stinking cute. I am very excited for this. I now just need to add all the ribbing detail on the bottom, the neckline, and my arms, and then I will be done. So general updates on my vest. I have been working on this ribbing almost all day. I'm almost done with the neckline, and one thing that's incredibly annoying about crochet ribbing is that it takes forever, and it's like a bunch of repetitive movements over and over again, and it's not like the kind of repetitive movements you can do while watching a show. It's one of those repetitive movements that you just have to constantly pay attention to, and I'm starting to get really tired of this right now. But while I have decided to take a break from doing ribbing, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start weaving in some of these ends, because you can see it's kind of a big yikes right now. Also, it is so hot in my apartment right now. I have all the windows open, and the thing is, the AC is off because it's cool enough outside where if I turn the AC on, our AC unit will just break. So I can't turn the AC unit on, and outside feels amazing, but there's no breeze coming outside. So there's nothing to circulate the air, and it's really hot right now. I weaved in some of my ends, not all of them, because I was hoping I could potentially carry some of them in as I do more of the ribbing. These are some of the ends that I have cut off from my project, and I think that's a decent amount to at least thank myself later. So today my friend is organizing a craft day where we just go to each other's houses and craft. But before we go, we're going to the apple orchard to get some lunch, brunch, and maybe pick some apples because it's fall and we can do that now here, which, I don't know, me being from Texas, apple picking was not a thing. So I'm very excited.
Coffee grind set.
Coffee grind set.
Coffee grind set. Cider in the fridge as well.
Perfect.
I got 3.
So she brought Woobles kit. Do you plan to work on Audrey?
I am sewing some Velcro onto the shirt so that I can attach a tail.
The tail?
Yes.
Is-
So that it's a Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
But I wore it before and it's kind of falling off, so I'm gonna sew it on this time and be stronger.
Nice. And you said you have 5 cosplays?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
Only 2 of them are new, so it's alright. For me.
Exactly.
Get it. So we're playing this song again. I already played this one. Don't look at me. She's getting that content. Both at the same time.
Too much brain.
Too much brain. Oh, dude, it's like the same font too. What? Alright.
Craft night was fun. We were actually there for quite a while. I left at around 10 and I left my house at around 10. So I was out for 12 hours, which it drained a lot of my social energy, but I had good fun. But some updates. I finished the ribbing detail on both sides of my vest, and I started on the bottom ribbing here, and yeah, that means I've gotten a decent way done with the project I was working on, which is great. We love that. I finished my vest. It looks really, really good. Sorry for the echo in here. Yeah, it's basically kind of everything I dreamed of. And yeah, I finally finished it. And I did try this on earlier with, you know, a more professional looking colored shirt and some slacks. And the outfit, especially all together, looks really good. Yeah, I'm very happy with the result. Obviously, there are a couple of things, you know, if I ever make this again, I might, you know, fix a couple of things. Like, it's pretty loose on me. I might optimize, you know, how I make this going forward. Maybe I won't do the V-neck. Maybe I'll like keep in consideration the fact that this is pretty big, at least on me. I don't know, I think there's a lot of potential with this type of granny square vest. Maybe in the future I might try and make a pattern or a tutorial of how I made this because I think it's really cool. Also, I noticed that it's unintentionally gender neutral too. I had my boyfriend try this vest on and honestly, he looked better in it than I did. Man, I think this type of design, it works well in a professional setting and it could be a potential gift for, you know, a husband, boyfriend, you know, this type of design. But yeah, with that, I will conclude my video here and see you next time. Bye!